AITA for not forcing my son to rename his hamster.
So to start this off, my son is 11 and has been begging for a family pet for a while. I finally gave in when I felt we were ready to take one on, and also when I felt he was ready for the responsibility that comes with one. I expected a dog or cat, but he really wanted a hamster. So we spent a little over a week prepping, helping him study hamster care, and dedicated a sizable spot in our living room for necessities and home. We finally get around to picking one out at the pet shop. He's set on the name Sonic, but the lady ringing us up mentioned the one he picked out was a girl and that she could get him a boy if he wanted, and he just lit up and said that's Amy. And that was that. We took Amy home. This was in March. My sister-in-law found out she was pregnant somewhere around that time, and last month they found out they were having a girl. Basically what happened was, they were picking out names, and one of the names they narrowed it down to had Amy as the middle name. I made a joke of something like, "Hey, we already have an Amy at our house," trying to be funny, but Sil didn't think it was. I didn't think much about it at the time, but a couple of days ago she asked to come by to talk. She started off by saying the joke I made was in bad taste. I apologized for it, and then she suggested I change the name. I told her I didn't think that would go over well with my son, and then she outright demanded it be changed whether he likes it or not, because she wasn't going to have a child share the name with a hamster. I agreed to talk it over with my son to see what he thought, and of course he didn't want to. He even thought it was cool that his cousin would share her name with his hamster. I tried convincing him to rename her Sonic even, or some other Sonic character, but he didn't want that.
I explained how Sil feels about this, and he felt a bit hurt because he thought he upset Sil, but he really didn't want to change the name and didn't understand why they couldn't just share it. I told Sil that my son was set on Amy, and she blew up. I'll admit I got a bit defensive and reacted poorly, but I essentially told her it wasn't a huge deal. It's not like anyone is going to make the connection, and by the time her child is old enough to know her name, Amy the hamster likely won't be around. She claimed it was embarrassing because she would always know the connection in her mind, to which I simply told her if it was such a strong reminder of a hamster, then maybe it wasn't a name she should use for her daughter.
My brother has told me that I am being selfish for not forcing my son to pick another name. Sil obviously thinks I'm TA, and my mom has said the whole thing is childish. So AITA?
NTA. It's hilarious she still wants to name her kid Amy after she already associates it with a hamster. That's going to live in her brain forever if she chooses that name. A few decades from now she'll say her kid's name and will automatically get a mental picture of a hamster.
My mom has said the whole thing is childish. Because it is. Also, NTA.
Seems the name Sonic is available. Suggest she call the baby that.
NTA. I'd consider changing the hamster's name to Amy the First just to annoy her even more. The lifespan of a hamster is 2 to 3 years. This problem will solve itself. NTA. I almost went esh for even indulging her and talking to your kid. You gave some legitimacy to her insane request. NTA. Amy the hamster was there before the baby. You and your son are not responsible for how anyone feels about a name. Your Sil needs to grow up if she associates a hamster with her child. Laughing here. It's so ridiculous. NTA. The only thing you might have done wrong here was telling your son how Sil feels. He's a kid. She's being ridiculous. And he shouldn't have to shoulder any bad feelings related to her nonsense. NTA. The whole thing is childish. Because Sil is acting like an entitled brat. I share names with 5 other girls in class in my teens. And now my best friend's puppy shares my name as well. It's hilarious and nobody's the least bit offended. Tell her to get over herself. Wait till she finds out Amy the hamster was named after Amy the hedgehog and that Amy will be around longer than the hamster. Rolling on the floor laughing NTA, but honestly I wouldn't even have put it on your son's shoulders to begin with. It's not a child's role to manage the emotions of adults. NTA. Even if your son did change the name, the hamster would always be associated with the name Amy, so her argument doesn't make sense. To keep the peace, just suggest that her daughter's middle name should include number 2 so it's different, and people won't mistake the two. If you really want to stir the pot, leave framed photos of Amy Farrar Fowler around the house. You know, just to make the subliminal connection. NTA hamster was born first and will be a beloved family pet memory by the time the baby hits school age. Hamsters have a life expectancy of 2 years. This ridiculous problem will solve itself. Sis needs to realize the world is not going to revolve around her child. NTA. Your son named his hamster before your Sil began considering the name Amy as the middle name of one of their possible choices. Sil is overreacting and your brother needs to calm the hell down. Stand up for your son and his pet. He hasn't done anything wrong and shouldn't be made to feel any guilt over this insanity. NTA. Also, always pettily refer to your niece as the little hamster. What is the little hamster doing? Look how the little hamster eats. NTA. And I hereby declare every subsequent family pet be named Amy. NTA. Amy hamster will live forever. Amy the hamster was here first. I'm tossing up the name Matilda. Tilly for short. For our baby girl. Brother-in-law's dog is Tilly. No way in hell I'm going to ask him to change the dog's name. But I'll be checking with him to make sure he's okay with us naming our girl after his dog. You Sil has it ass about backwards. NTA. NTA. I would seriously keep buying female hamsters and name them all Amy. Amy forever heart. NTA. You did nothing wrong. Neither did your son. Your sister-in-law is a huge A for getting so worked up over a hamster. This is just ridiculous.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.